Welcome to The People Advantage, the podcast that helps leaders create competitive advantage through their people. I'm Dr. Tasha Clapperton, psychologist and your host, and we're here to help you uncover the full potential of your people.
And I'm Larry Solomon, former Executive Vice President of Human Resources for Dr. Pepper Snapple. So together we will tackle real-world team challenges and share practical strategies to build high-performing teams.
This is The People Advantage.
Let's get started.
Welcome. So this is our launch. We're super excited of our podcast, The People Advantage. And as we know, we're going to be talking to lots of different leaders. Yeah. But you are first, and you're my dad. So I thought it'd be a great way to start with all your extensive experience across the globe about really helping leaders find the full potential of their people. Mm-hmm. So I thought it'd be great to start to talk about how did you do that? How did you go about that?
Well, that's a complex question, but I think the best way to describe what I'm talking about is to tell you a story, a true story. It's a story about Phineas, the merchandiser. Now, Phineas was a merchandiser in a company I worked for many years ago in South Africa, where we mobilized the entire organization to be passionate about customer service. And so Phineas got it. So Phineas was busy merchandising, which is what a merchandiser does, basically pack shelves in a retail store. And he was busy doing his job, and Mrs. Shopper came by with her shopping cart, her trolley, and stopped at the beverage aisle. And she seemed somewhat frustrated, and she began to move off. Phineas jumps up and says, "Excuse me, ma'am, you seem to be looking for something that you can't find on the shelf." Now, she was a bit surprised because merchandisers don't normally interact with the end user. And so she said, "Well, yeah, I was looking for Rose's Lime Cordial, but it doesn't appear to be on the shelf." And she began to move on. Phineas had a look and said, "Ma'am, I tell you what, you're right. There is no Rose's Lime Cordial on the shelf. I'll go to the backup store. You keep shopping. I'll come and find you and bring you your Rose's Lime Cordial."
Wow.
Somewhat impressed, a little skeptical, but she moved on, and Phineas dashed into the backup store. He looked high and low, left and right, but there was no Rose's Lime Cordial in that store. Phineas didn't give up. So he dashes out of the store, across a highway, to another retail store, goes into the store, grabs 2 bottles of Rose's Lime Cordial off the shelf, takes money out of his own pocket, pays for it, and then comes dashing back into the store, looking desperately for Mrs. Shopper. Now, Mrs. Shopper, at this time, has long forgotten about the hollow promises of Phineas, and she's checking out at the checkout counter. Phineas comes running up and says, "Ma'am, here are your 2 bottles of Rose's Lime Cordial." Now, she's really impressed. She says, "Thank you, young man," and she takes 1 bottle, puts it on the conveyor belt, and begins to pay for it. Phineas grabs the bottle back and puts both of the bottles in her shopping cart with the paid product and says, "No, ma'am, you're not paying for it. Here's why. Because you are the customer. And when you're looking for our product on the shelf, it should be there. So please accept these 2 bottles as a gift from our company."
Wow.
I mean, she was so impressed, she wrote a letter to the head office of this retailer, which happened to be the biggest retailer in Southern Africa, like the Walmart of South Africa. And the general manager of the store was so impressed that we as a company got preferential treatment for a year.
Incredible. Which
Which clearly had significant financial value to the organization. We clearly made a hero of Phineas. But the point is, the act of one individual with a passion for customers can have a huge positive impact on your customer relationships. Imagine if you can create that Phineas effect with every employee in every role in your organization.
That's the real people advantage.
That's the people advantage. So that's the story.
So that's a brilliant story, and it really illustrates the passion that individual had, that kind of feeling bigger and a part of something bigger than themselves.
Exactly right.
But how do you instill that in your teams? And I know we're going to get into much more detail through all the other episodes, but as an overview, what is kind of the structure or the process that you take in order to instill that in your teams?
That's a great question. So it is a very I mean, it's not simple because you're dealing with people, but there is a framework that I've developed over the years, which I've tried and tested, made a lot of mistakes too. But this is the framework for what I call mobilization. How do you mobilize an entire organization behind an agenda, behind strategies? And it starts with the heart, because we're dealing with people. So to engage people, it's to engage the heart of your people. It's not about facts and data, it's getting them to believe in you, the leader, and the direction you're wanting to take the organization. That's engagement, to the point where they're willing to put in the extra effort.
Like Phineas.
Like Phineas. Now the problem is, if you stop there, you end up with what I call misdirected enthusiasm, where people are enthusiastic, but they're misdirected.
That happens a lot.
So you can't just tell them what the vision is, and they're all enthusiastic, but they start pulling in different directions. So once you've got the heart, you need to get to the head, which is align. And what I mean by align is translate. Translate the vision, the strategies, into the day-to-day actions of every individual. What does this mean to the receptionist? What does it mean to the forklift driver? What does it mean to the Phineas or the merchandiser? We can't assume that because we've got a big fancy poster on the wall of our vision and our strategy, that means anything in the day-to-day activities of your people. So translation is the absolute key. But we can't stop there. Because if now you've translated, they know what to do,
But
they
not
believe
how.
in you, but they don't know how. So if you don't go to the next step, you end up with what I call enthusiastic incompetence. So you're
lots of
very
direction.
enthusiastic, but you're incompetent because no one has equipped you to do things differently. So the third phase is getting all hands on deck, and that is enable, which is getting people the right decision authority, the right resources, the right training, the right organizational structure, the right communications, so they can go and execute with excellence. But we don't stop there. Otherwise, it becomes the flavor of the month. You know, the boss has a
Heard
dream,
that too many times.
and he comes up the next week and says, "Oh, I had a dream. It's all about cost cutting this quarter or whatever." So you have to build what I call sustainability. And sustainability is passing the baton. That's where you're empowering people to continue the positive momentum that you as a leader have initiated. So that's the framework. Engage, align, enable, and sustain. Obviously, there's a lot more behind each of those, and we can discuss those later.
Yeah, because the intention is, as we bring in different leaders, we'll talk about different aspects of that framework.
Yes, exactly right.
But now people often talk about the people side as the soft skills, right? And the easy side and the wishy-washy bits.
Yes.
But how do we really quantify or measure the impact of the people? How do we really measure the people advantage?
Well, it's a great question. And yeah, I mean, people say the people stuff is the soft stuff, but in fact, it's the real hard stuff, because you're dealing with people, and people are humans being. They're not human beings, right?
Correct.
And the being means we're changing all the time, and so understanding that dynamic is really difficult. However, if you set people loose on a specific goal, a specific project, you'll be blown away by what people are capable of achieving if you actually believe in them, and that you set them loose to tackle problems that they have spent many years doing. I mean, who is the best person to fix a problem on a production line? Is it the consultant? Is the suit from head office? Or is it the individual who's been working on that production line for 20 years? No one's ever bothered saying, hey, have you thought of ways we could streamline the process? When you start to believe in your people and unlock their potential and give them that authority, you will be blown away. So I'll give you some examples.
Yes, please.
So at Dr. Pepper, as we unlocked the potential of our people, we did what we call a sort of balanced approach to driving out waste and improving efficiencies. So safety is a key feature in any manufacturing environment. And with the help of the people, we reduced our recordable accidents by 37%.
Wow.
In a couple of years. On the quality, we had a consumer complaints level that came down by 25% because of the improved quality of our product, which was fueled by our people finding ways to improve quality. Our delivery, on time and in full delivery, was at 99.9%. And productivity, this is a big one. Forecasting in a soft drink industry, like many industries that sells products that are perishable, and also impulse purchase products, it's difficult to manage inventory levels. So you end up with literally millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars tied up in inventory. So what we did is we empowered our people to find ways to streamline changeover time on production lines. They did such a phenomenal job that because of shortened changeover times, we had to carry less inventory. And the real hard measure to your question is we were able to reduce the warehouse footprint of the Dr. Pepper Snapple Group by over 2.5 million square foot.
That's incredible.
2.5 million square foot less warehousing space. If that's not quantifiable, nothing is. So those are just a few. I could go on all day talking about it. So excited about what people are able to achieve if you just let them loose.
About finding their untapped potential.
Exactly.
But also there's more than that. And we will talk about that in later ones, about how you incentivize people the right way, sometimes
The wrong way.
Yeah, sometimes the wrong way. We'll get into details with some other leaders. But you have over 40 years experience.
I know, it's hard to believe. I mean, look so young.
Very young, Dad. So what I want to ask you, what would be one key learning from all these years that you can give to people? One key learning on how to really manage people or kind of find their true potential.
Well, I think you need to ask yourself an honest question. Do you really believe in your people? Because I believe that the human mind is a magnificent creation, limited only by self-doubt and poor leadership. So if you can work with your people to help them overcome their self-doubt, because people have limitations in their
Absolutely.
own minds, and lead them to achieve levels of sustained performance that they themselves never believed they could achieve, then you're a great leader.
Then you have the true people advantage.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for listening to The People Advantage. We appreciate you joining us and encourage you now to apply what you've learned. Join us for the next episode where we sit down with another great leader to uncover new insights that will help you build your people advantage. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.